And so recently, so I'm writing porn novels, but I'm writing a porn novel, and which means so after finishing writing a porn novel, comes the next, which is a pattern, or after the end of the creation of a porn novel. So I start I start to create, or I begin to create another porn novel, which is the manner I have adopted recently, or which is the manner I have adopted years before, but or since the beginning of the of I mean since the beginning of writing porn novels. And so I have proceeded I have simultaneously proceeded I have simultaneously proceeded writing two novels. But actually, so far I create how should I say, I create each porn novel one by one. Anyway, such a thing is what I'm saying. And I'm sorry for my clumsy manner, or I'm sorry for my the stuttering manner, or plodding manner of speaking English language. And to start with, so I'm a native speaker of English language, which is fine. So I think you have already understood that. So I'm really I'm, by the way, I'm a, my, how should I say? My alias is Richard Gon, which means, so anyway, so, please find my alias, my own name. So I frequent, I often use, not I often use, so, in most cases, or in most scenes, I use my own my own Japanese name, but actually my own Japanese name is, I have a Japanese name, and I use that Japanese name in daily life, or in every day anyway. So but actually, so I use this alias, which means so Richard Gong. And hello everybody, I'm Richard Gong of Work to Live podcast version. And so anyway, so I have talked about how I have created porn novels recently. And so where have we come? So I've talked about, so so I talked about that. I have created two porn novels simultaneously. And recently I'm writing a porn novel, and I create each porn novel one by one. And which means, so my porn novels have been created one by one anyway. So there is a porn novel after which comes the second one, which is in which sequence. So I create my own porn novels for, and so I have not created porn novels, by the way. So when I speak this language, or so to start with, my mother tongue is another language, which is an East Asian language, which is quite different from English language. And but actually, so which is why, so I'm really bad at speaking English language. And so what I was talking about is, so I began to write porn novels, and I have not written porn novels until this recent time. But actually, so so anyway, so I started to create porn novels again. So that is because I found writing porn novels the only way to the only way to swell, or increase my own wealth. So why I said why I found such a thing is that, so if I tell you this the time of this recording, I think you can understand it. So I'm creating this recording in the middle of March in 2023, and I'm in my still 30s, and the last Ukrainian war is ongoing, and there's an imminent conflict between Taiwan Island and the mainland China, and which means so my country is really close to both of them. So which means my country maybe not incorporated, but maybe embroiled or maybe involved into the military conflict, military conflict maybe between Taiwan and the mainland China. So I mistakenly pronounced conflict, but actually my mother tongue doesn't distinguish L and R, so which is why so the correct pronunciation is conflict. So anyway, so there's maybe not maybe, so my country may get involved into the imminent conflict or imminent conflicts or imminent series of conflicts between the mainland China and Taiwan. And so what I'm afraid of the most is a futuristic sanctions, or which is what I'm afraid of the most is the incoming sanctions which may be introduced in the future against the mainland China. So this time, so the most sanctioned country is Russian Federation, which means so there's no way to so I'm in my country, which is Japan, and so far so there's no way to buy stocks of Russian companies, which is why there are some favorable Russian companies, but actually I have not found ways to invest into those favorable countries, but not favorable countries, but favorable companies of Russia. Anyway, so I mistakenly used country instead of companies. And so to start with, roughly saying it's possible to exchange ruble and the local currency of my country, but actually, so what I have heard is that so it's possible to sell Russian ruble in exchange for getting so Japanese yen. So it's possible to get Japanese yen, and it's possible to sell Russian ruble. But actually, so the vice versa, or the opposite direction of exchange is impossible. Which means, so I can't buy Russian ruble using the local currency, which is Japanese yen. And by the way, so this time I haven't told you the title and the conclusion of this episode. So this is a digression, or this is a series of digressions anyway. So here comes here is coming, not here comes, here is coming, or here has come the main track of this episode. Wait a moment, please. So the title is "Have you noticed a porn novel has been uploaded?" And the conclusion is I uploaded a porn novel in Medium. The title of the porn novel is A History of a Man. So this porn novel has 5 chapters. This is all. Yes. So I have dragged your attention to this part. But actually, this is all. So I have uploaded the porn novel, composed of 5 chapters. That's it. I mean it. And I'm sorry for my, so I apologize. I sincerely, so I truly apologize for dragging your attention, or for putting the, or so stretching this your time to this part. And so anyway, so the conclusion is just I uploaded my own porn novel to Medium. And so of course, some people, some frequent readers, for maybe some frequent readers have already noticed that I have uploaded. Well, I had uploaded that porn novel into Medium, and so many people have read. So those chapters of that porn novel. And so I haven't uploaded all of them, but actually, so I have uploaded some porn novels, and how should to which extent should I explain? Anyway, so there's I should tell you some of this some of the humors or some of the story of this Bond novel. Anyway, the title is A History of a Man. So the chapter 1 is 3 months after the day 1, and so as the setting of this Bond novel, the story lasts. Wait a moment, please. 3 months after the day 1, which is chapter 1, and which is chapter 1. And the chapter 2 is the title of chapter 2, not the title of this entire Bond novel, but actually the title of this chapter is Day 1, 4 days after the Independence Day, and chapter 3 is a month after the day 1. The chapter 4 is a week after the day 1, and so the final chapter is long time has passed, a long time after the day 1, which means a long time has passed since the day 1, which means so minus 3 months and plus 1 month and plus a long time, which means at least that the setting of the Bond novel has lasted 4 months. And so 4 months, and after which is coming a long time of sexual torture. Anyway, so I don't tell you the entire story about this Bond novel, but actually anyway, so I write such a taste or such a predilection of Bond novels, which means if you are masochistic men, or if you are sadistic ladies or girls, so if you are masochistic boys and gentlemen, and if you are sadistic ladies and girls, I think my works are suitable for your taste. Of I think my works are suitable for your sexual predilection or sexual taste or sexual predisposition, for example. Anyway, or sexual, temperament or something like that. And anyway, so this is all actually. If you get interested in that Bond novel, I have recently created. So please take a look at the description column of this episode, and so that you can find out how to access. So the links of each chapter are written in the will have written in the description column of this episode. Let me tell you again. So you can find out a link. You can find out a link of those Bond novels in the description column of this episode, because so those links of the chapters of Bond novels will have been written in the description column of this episode sometime after or some durations after this recording. Anyway, so I'm really bad at speaking West European languages, because their languages are totally different from mine. So, but actually, so those links of the link of each chapter of that Bond novel will have been written after, which is why, so you can check out, or you can access those chapters of that Bond novel I recently created. So anyway, so if you have such a taste of, or if you have sadomasochistic taste of sexual pleasure, for example, so and if you are masochistic boys, and if you are sadistic girls, I recommend my works I recommend that you read my works, not only that Bond novel I recently created, but also I have created other Bond novels and I have posted chapters of Bond novels in in the social networking service social networking service medium. So that's it. This is all actually. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you very much for everything. See you. And this is a correction. So I mistakenly pronounced the pronunciation of temperament, but actually the correct pronunciation is temperament, but actually my mother tongue doesn't distinguish the pronunciation bit of L and R, which is why I mistakenly pronounced L1, which means temperament. Well, temperament using L is what I mistakenly pronounced, but the correct pronunciation is temperament. When I was describing, this type of temperament, or this type of sexual taste, what people having this type of temperament, or this type of sexual taste should read my works, which is what I talked about in some minutes before the ending of this episode. But actually, so I mistakenly used the word temperament, and I mistakenly pronounced L1, which means temperament. But actually, so the correct pronunciation of temperament is temperament using R.